Today's second date update is different from anything we've ever done before. We have two gentlemen, Mark and Rich, who are both looking for a second date update with the same woman. Her name is Lindsay, but before we call her, we're going to introduce you to the guys first. This is Mark and Rich. Welcome in, guys.
Hey, morning.
Hey.
Hi.
And just for clarification, this is not like a threesome. Like, you guys did not go on one date with Lindsay. You both went on a date with Lindsay, or explain what the situation is here.
Separate dates.
Separate dates.
Okay. And how do you two guys know each other?
I mean, we've been friends since college.
Okay.
Okay.
So how did the two of you end up going on dates with the same woman?
All right. Well, Rich, you want me to take this?
Yeah, you tell them how it started.
All right. So, like you said, it's a bit different. It's a little weird. But so we both went out with the same girl because we were out with a couple other friends of ours, ended up sitting next to a group of girls, started chatting them up. Apparently, Rich and I both sort of picked out the same girl and, like, we're chatting her up. We each, got her number separately and never, discussed it between the two of us. But we ended up both going out on dates with her separately, as we said. But
and wait, so neither of you both got her phone number, but neither of you were aware that the other had gone on a date with her?
No.
Well,
we had
I found
idea.
out that she did.
You found out later.
Right, but not at the time. I had no idea that Rich had gotten her number and was planning on asking her out.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and when I went out with her, I had no idea that he had gone out with her first. I didn't know at the time.
All right, so Mark went out with her first.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah. He went to dinner with her, and then I took her bowling. But then when I was out with her, that's when she told me that she went out with Mark the night before.
Oh, okay. So she was honest about it.
Yeah, and I never asked either of them. I didn't, I didn't think there was anything weird about it. I didn't know he got her number, and he didn't know I did either. So I didn't want to seem like I was jealous or that anything was weird. And I didn't even ask her how it went with him. I kind of stayed out of it.
Yeah.
But I mean, we had a good time. I mean, I really dug her, and so the next day I texted Mark. I told him, that I had gone out with her and that I knew that he did too. And he was pretty surprised about it. And she agreed that she both, she wanted to go out with both of us, but didn't say anything to us about it.
That's interesting. But I love that everybody was honest. She fully disclosed that she went out on her date with Rich. She fully disclosed that she had gone on a date the night before with Mark. And Rich had reached out to Mark and said, hey, just keeping you in the loop.
Yeah, I went out with her too.
Yeah, I don't know if she's completely honest because when we went out, she didn't say oh yeah, I'm going out with Rich tomorrow night, or make any mention of it.
Yeah.
And the only way I found out was because Rich texted me to say, oh man, I went on this amazing date last night, and then the cat was out of the bag.
All right, well, that says a lot about Rich.
For
I don't know if he would have texted me if he had known that it was going to be like this.
Well, that's what I find fascinating. You guys are obviously friends. Do you guys have an unspoken or maybe spoken rule where you stay out of each other's lanes when it comes to this kind of thing?
I think it's more unspoken.
Yeah, but I mean, if I, if she told me that she'd been out with him, but I figured he knew that. I figured he knew that I was going out with her too because she told me. So I didn't think it was a big secret at the time. So I didn't feel like I was keeping anything from him. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, was anybody sleeping with anybody? Did she sleep
Not
with
me.
both of you back-to-back nights?
Not me.
We didn't. Yeah, we didn't.
So she didn't sleep with either of you?
No, she talked about wanting to go out with me again, but then when I texted Mark about it, he was like, well, she told me the same thing, but I haven't heard from her and I haven't either. So now we're sort of what's going on? Why, she seemed interested in both of us, but now she's not getting back to either of us.
Yeah, I don't have any, there's no bad blood between Rich and I for going out with the same girl. It's just more I'm kind of shocked she would go out with both of us knowing we were friends, and then to ghost us both is just weird.
Okay, so if you're just joining us, we got two guys who went out with the same woman on two separate dates. These are guys who were friends. They met her at the same time. They were both out. There was this group of women who they started interacting with. They both found themselves kind of gravitating toward Lindsay. They both individually, they got her number and made dates with her unbeknownst to the other until Lindsay disclosed it to Rich on their date, who let Mark know. And so now they're both aware that they went out with the same woman. And Rich, you said you went bowling with Lindsay and it was a great date and she seemed open to seeing you again.
Yeah.
And Mark, you had dinner with her the night before, which you also said went well, correct?
Yeah, no, we had a good time. She said she would love to go out again. Gave her like a little hug, like very friendly, and left it at that. And now like she's ghosted both of us.
All right. So where do we go from here?
Are both of you still interested in this? Are one or both of you trying to get another date out of her at this point? Or is this more of a, hey,
We need answers.
lady,
Like a confrontation
tell us
kind of
what's
thing?
going on here. What's the deal? You were playing us both. Or what is the ultimate goal of us getting a hold of her?
Yeah, what do you want out of this?
I mean, I would say, like, at this point, it's a little bit too weird for me to think, like, we're not trying to be like, pick one of us or anything like that. Like, honestly, from my point of view, and I think I mentioned this to you, Mark, like, it feels like there's something weird. Like, there's something like she's trying to get between us or, like, cause something between us. Like, it seems, I don't know, there's something off about
Like she's
it.
playing
And-
you guys?
Yeah, like she knows too much, but she's not being totally upfront about it. And it's, I don't know, it's really weird. And like we have mutual friends, so we kind of want to like figure out what really is the deal with her.
Are
Okay.
you sure you're the only two?
Not like now, for sure not. I mean,
No.
who knows
Have you
what's
asked
going
all the
on?
rest of your friends?
I
Have you
wouldn't
said,
be.
did anybody else
Yeah.
pick up this
Well, they've
girl?
all heard the story now, so I don't know. Like, we told them we were coming on the radio, but you know, do I want another day with her? Probably not. But I like just curious, like, why would you go out with like two dudes who are friends, like back to back nights, and like mention it to one but not the other? Like, it just seems weird.
Well, if she would have mentioned it on the first night, the second night might not have happened, and she needed to go out with both of you so she could compare.
Oh, that's an interesting take. I don't think dudes' minds work like that.
All right. Well, we're going to call her up and try to get a sense of what's going on in her head, what she's thinking, what she wants to do. It sounds like both of you guys are resigned to whatever the outcome is here. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah, no, I thought.
Rich and I are still going to be good friends. It's not like if she said she wanted to go out with him, like I'm going to be like hurt.
Okay. Cool. I can't wait to see how this turns out. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're calling Lindsay, and we'll see what she thought of her date with Mark and her date with Rich.
This is a very special Jeff and Jen second
Yes,
date.
it is.
Have we ever had something like this happen before?
No.
No.
We've
is
never
new and
done this
different.
before. Never been presented with this opportunity before. But we'll make the call next. As second date update continue, different second date update than what you're used to hearing. We have a unique situation here where we got two guys who went out on two separate dates with the same woman. Mark and Rich are both very good friends. They happened to be out one night. They ran into a group of girls, started chatting them up. Both found themselves gravitating toward Lindsay. Each separately managed to get Lindsay's phone number unbeknownst to the other. Both followed up and set up dates with her. The first date was with Mark. He took her to dinner. And the next night, she had a date with Rich, who took her bowling. Now, on her date with Rich, she told Rich she had been out with Mark the night before. Rich, being a good friend, of course, immediately notifies Mark and says, hey, I didn't know she had gone out with you, but she let me know, and I had gone out with her tonight, and I just wanted to
Right.
keep you in the loop.
It's like she's playing her own game of The Bachelorette.
Well, that's what Mark kind of said, right? Because you guys feel that maybe she's trying to stir something between you, that there may be something nefarious going on here? Or is this a woman who's just simply enjoying the attention of two good-looking guys who wanted to go out with her?
I don't know.
I
I think
mean-
something weird's going on. That's me. I don't know. That could just be me being paranoid or like reading too much into it, but I think something's weird.
It's got to be
Maybe.
flattering to her, though, that I'm sorry to interrupt you, Jen, but it's got to be flattering to her that she was approached by two guys the same night, having those options. I'm sure she likes the attention. And
Maybe she just liked you both. I mean, maybe you guys are friends, so you have a lot in common. And so maybe the two of you are her type, and she just, why not? You know, she's single. Why not go out with both of you if you both asked?
So we're going to call Lindsay and see what her thoughts are about Rich, about Mark, Did she have more fun on one date than another? Is she looking to see either one of them again or both of them again or neither of them again? I don't know.
Yeah.
Anything else you think we need to know before we call her?
I don't think so.
No, I think you covered it.
And again, you're going to be cool with whatever the outcome is here, right, guys?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good.
Totally.
I'm
Okay.
Hello?
Lindsay,
Speaking.
you are the woman of the hour, my friend.
Look at you.
It's Jeff and Jenn at Q102. How you doing this morning?
Good, I guess. How are you?
Good. You got a few minutes?
Yeah, sure. What is this about?
Well, we spoke to a couple of admirers of yours this morning. Do you remember Mark and Rich, both of whom you've had dates with recently?
Yes.
Well, we heard from both of them. And by the way, they both said they had a great time with you. And both seem to be left with the impression that you would be open to going out with each of them again. But they're confused now that they know that they have both gone out with you. I think they're a little confused as to why you would go out with both of them, leave them both with the impressions that you were interested in seeing them again, and then ghost them both.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
What's going on?
Was this
wow.
an
Okay.
experiment?
Yeah, are you just messing with them? I'm like, hate to put you on the
Oh, my
spot, but
gosh.
we kind of want to know what the deal is here. Because this is a very unique situation.
Definitely a strange situation there, yeah.
Well, if you wouldn't mind, take us back to that night when you met them both for the first time, how that all unfolded.
Yeah, I was out with some girlfriends, and, they were sitting with a bunch of their friends at the next table, and we were all kind of chatting and hanging out for a few hours, and both of them asked for my number, and I thought they were both cute, so I gave them both my number, and, that's the
Now,
start of it, basically.
Does this happen to you a lot? Like, based on what Mark and Rich have said, you're obviously very attractive, very charming, you have one of those magnetic personalities that tends to draw people, especially men who probably fight for your attention.
I get approached often, yeah.
Right. And so when you were approached by Mark and Rich, you decided to go out with them both. And let's start with Mark. You guys had dinner?
Yeah, we went out for dinner, and, we had a pretty good time, but honestly, he talked about Rich a lot, way more than most straight guys talk about their friends on a first date. So that was kind of weird.
Okay.
And then when it came time that I went out with Rich, it came up that I went out with Mark the night before, and you could just see, this whole shift in his demeanor, and, I could tell he wanted to ask me a bunch of questions about it, but he didn't. He just kept, saying a bunch of nice things about Mark. And the whole thing was just so weird, but I think one of them, if not both of them, is, secretly into the other one.
Oh, that's interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, so I don't want to get in the middle of anything, I don't need to be getting myself inserted in that kind of situation. So, yeah, that's basically why I haven't gotten back in touch with either of them. I didn't know either of them before this, obviously, so, I was going on a first date to get to know them a little bit better, and I just got weird vibes about that relationship, and I don't want to be a homewrecker. We had a good enough time, but maybe we're better off as friends. I don't know.
That's so interesting to me, and not the take I was expecting, but let's bring Mark and Rich into the conversation, guys. Now that you've had a chance to hear Lindsay's impressions of you two and this friendship you two share, how do you respond to that?
That's, you think, you don't think we're straight? We're friends, of course I talk about him, that you met all my friends when we first went on a date. I was just talking about that, but
Okay, you weren't really talking about your other friends.
well,
Not like Rich.
Not like Rich. And, like, you know, there's such a thing as being bisexual. So, you know, you could have been interested in me and also be secretly in love with your friend.
Yeah, sure. In this world, anything could be possible, but like, that's not at all it. I just like you went out with both of us, and then you like ghost both of us. Like, did you actually have a nice time, or you just like to go out on activities? I don't know. It just seems weird. And then like when asked about it, you're like, well, I think they're gay. Like, Rich,
yeah. I mean, I'm single. I would like to find the right guy, but I don't think either of you are it.
Well, that's fair, but I find your observation interesting that you assume Mark and Rich are gay just because they're close and had nice things to say about each other. But I don't know. I wasn't there. Rich, you want to weigh in?
Yeah. I mean, if you felt that way, that's cool. But then, like, why not get in touch with us to let us know that you're not interested? Like, that's the part that seems weird to me is you go out with us back-to-back nights, and then you tell us both that you want to see us again, and then you don't say it. Like, there's something kind of wrong about that. That, like, you told us you were interested in both of us, and then you just ghosted both of us at the same time. I mean, whatever you
we're like
thought,
perfect for each
like,
other.
Reach out to us.
I feel like if this was a rom-com, she would have set up a date with one of them and then surprised them both together and then present the idea. You know what I mean?
I think the two of you
That's what I
maybe
should have done.
should consider.
Wow.
I don't know. It seems a little bit like closed-minded to be like dudes who like each other and talk about each other. They have to be romantic. Like that guys can't. Like, this is why people have a hard time with like guys being emotional and expressing stuff about each other, because somebody like you is going to make some, jump to a
stereotypical assumption.
Yeah, like, why can't, like, we're really good friends. Like, it's not weird for me to talk about my friends that I care about and say nice things about them. So, I don't know. I think the weirdest thing is that you said you were interested in both of us, went out with us back-to-back nights, and then just disappeared. Like, I think that's the weirder thing. And then this extra thing you're saying now, I kind of thought better of you. So, I don't know. I'll leave it at that.
Let me ask you this. Have either one of the dudes had any feelings towards each other in any way?
Oh, and are you willing to admit that on the radio right now?
Or is she just way the hell off base?
No, man. Rich is like my brother, but like on top of it all, like, I don't know. It's just weird to me that, you're going to go, like, did you want me to say bad things about my friends? Like, if I had, would you have gone out with Rich the next night? Like, it just opens up like this whole other thing. And then if you thought one of us wasn't straight or we're both gay or whatever, why would you then go out with both of us? Why wouldn't you just been like, cancel the second date or whatever? It doesn't matter. I mean, I think we have our answer and like,
Right.
Well, if it is
It's a weird
something the two of
cop-out.
you guys would like to explore together, at the end of these, we do offer to pay for a second date. So the second date could be the two of you going out together to see if she was
Mark,
on to something.
If you want to go hang out on their dime, man, I'm down. Like, I'm happy to take some money from them.
Yeah, I mean, like,
go hang
who
out.
who doesn't like a free meal?
Yeah, no obligation.
Yeah, I'm happy to go have dinner with you, dude. I'd love to do it for free.
It's on Jeff and Jen.
There you go.
Perfect.
All right. So, Lindsay, if you didn't feel like there was something going on between Mark and Rich, not to pit these two against each other, but who do you think
You
would
have
have
to
been?
choose.
Who would you have been more interested in going out with again, Mark or Rich?
Oh, come on. I don't want to.
If you weren't
There's enough
sensing
drama
that
here already.
dynamic.
I don't want to start anything there.
All right,
So
all right.
funny.
Well, I appreciate this. Thank you for all coming on Second Date Update. This was really interesting, and we've never had this happen before. So we appreciate you all putting yourselves out there.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
you.
I mean, it's a first for me.
I hope you guys, did you get the answers that you were looking for?
Yeah, I mean, we're not going to lose any sleep over Lindsay.
Okay.
Now, are you guys really going to pay for us to go hang out?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
Yes.
you said it, so I'm going to take you up on it.
Friends
Yes.
for life.
There you go. We're going to send you somewhere really romantic.
That's
Twin
right.
Peaks.
Love it. Love it.
And we'll request a booth so
Yeah.
you can sit next to each
A
other.
banquet.
Oh, there we go. I didn't see this go. I figured she'd pick one of us and like the other one would just get needlessly ribbed, but now it seems,
Nope, you're in it
Went a
together.
different direction.
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Well, to give you something to laugh about over dinner.
Oh, yeah, we'll have plenty to chat about.
So there you go.
There you go. Something new and different for sure.